Hi, I'm Brian from BrianKeaneFitness.com, qualified personal trainer and sports nutritionist. If you're wondering why you're not toning up based on the training program or based on the nutritional plan you're following, then today's video is for you. So when it comes to losing body fat, it's quite a straightforward process. You need to be in a calorie deficit so that you can tap into your fat stores and burn through that as fuel. But toning up is a little bit more complicated and a little bit more difficult. So the first reason when it comes to why you're not toning up is you aren't following a plan. Meaning that you don't have structure in your lifestyle that's going to support toning up and building lean muscle tissue. As I said, losing body fat's very straightforward. You can control that with your diet. But when it comes to toning up, you need to do more. Which brings me on to point number 2, which supports that you're not doing enough resistance training. So in order to create lean muscle tissue, i.e. toning up, you need to create resistance on your muscle so that you force your body composition to change. How you do that then is largely up to you, whatever works best for your lifestyle and for your schedule. You can add in resistance training from weights, you can do it with kettlebells, you can do it with a TRX, or you can use your own body weight as resistance. But you have to be doing some form of resistance training in order to build lean muscle tissue so you can tone up. Point number 3 then is you're not focusing on your sleep or you've got poor recovery. So toning up and building lean muscle tissue, as I said, is a little bit more complicated than just reducing body fat. When it comes to toning up or building lean muscle tissue, there's a few things you have to do. You have to tear down the muscle fibers in workouts, i.e. by increasing the resistance on your body with weight training, with your body weight resistance, with kettlebells, but then you have to focus on your recovery. And nutrition plays a huge role in that, which we'll get onto in point 4 and 5. But your sleep also plays a massive role in your recovery. So if you're not getting good quality sleep, 7, 8, 9 hours based on your individual needs, you're not going to be able to optimize your recovery to tone up and build that lean muscle tissue. So find your sweet spot when it comes to sleep and recovery and make sure you're getting that every single night. Which brings me on to point 4, and that's not eating enough calories. So you might be thinking now, is it that I'm not eating enough protein, which we'll get onto in point 6, but the truth is a lot of people who are struggling to tone up or build lean muscle tissue aren't eating enough calories to support the repair needed to build that lean muscle tissue or tone up. So on top of protein, which we'll come back to in point 6, you also have your fats and your carbohydrate intake, which serve as protein-sparing macronutrients. So if you are getting enough calories and you're getting your minimum intake for protein, the other carbs and fats you're using or eating will support those extra calories, and that will help you tone up and build that lean muscle tissue. So if you're eating in a calorie deficit, for example, because you want to lose body fat, that might be counterintuitive to building lean muscle tissue and toning up. So you may need to increase your calorie intake slightly. Again, you don't have to go crazy. In order to calculate your calorie intake, how many calories you need to eat per day, you can just Google a TDEE calculator, total daily energy expenditure calculator, with your height, your weight, and your activity levels. That number that comes back will tell you how many calories you need to eat every day. So to build lean muscle tissue, i.e. to tone up, you probably need to eat at your maintenance calories or slightly above. Point 5, you're doing too much cardio. So this one's a little bit of a coin flip because there is definitely a sweet spot when it comes to cardio for reducing body fat and when it comes from your overall calorie intake to support your body's ability to build lean muscle tissue, i.e. to tone up. But too much cardio will definitely slow down your progress. So the next follow-up question is, what's too much cardio? And the answer is, that depends. What I will say is, if you have a structured training program, having a minimum effective dose of cardio is going to be what you want to target and aim for when it comes to toning up and keeping body fat levels low. So what that might look like is 10 minutes of high intensity interval sprints at the end of a workout, or maybe 20 minutes on a cross trainer. Or alternatively, my personal preference, where you're trying to hit a 10,000 a day daily step count. But if you're doing too much cardio and not supporting that by increasing your calories, you're not going to be able to build lean muscle tissue the way you want. And that brings me on to my last point, point 6, which is not getting sufficient protein. So protein, and specifically the amino acids that make up protein, are the building blocks of muscle. If you're not hitting your daily protein requirements, you are really going to struggle to build lean muscle tissue or tone up. Now, what that percentage will be will vary greatly person to person. General rule of thumb is 1 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So for example, I weigh about 80 kilos. My daily requirements will be 80 grams of protein or up to 160 grams of protein based on if I'm strength training or not. But again, you're going to have to test that out to see what works best for you. What I would generally advise is that you make sure that you've got protein at your 3 major main meals. So maybe some eggs or a turkey rasher in the morning, some fish or beef for lunch, and some turkey or chicken for dinner. For most people, that's going to allow you hit your daily protein requirements. If you're struggling, you can add in a protein shake post-workout, and that will just further support your body's ability to recover so that you can build more lean muscle tissue and tone up. So if you're struggling to tone up, there are 6 reasons that may be stopping you to hit your body compositional goal. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for videos coming each and every week.